The MPV segment is actually in decline, with families favouring larger, more premium SUVs over their old family battle buses. People with large families can find plenty of space and a little bit more street credibility on an SUV these days than what they can a people carrier. That said, the Ford Galaxy has always been a very strong contender for the lead, if not the lead, in this class. And Ford haven't given up on it yet, especially considering that the UK is the lead market for such a car. Thus, here we have the 2015 Ford Galaxy, which sits on the same platform as the S-Max and the new Mondeo. I mention those two because the car actually still shares some of the dynamicism with those two models. So, despite being a large 7-seat MPV, it's very, very far from cumbersome. It actually handles rather well. It sticks in corners, there's plenty of grip, the steering's actually very precise, though not full of feel obviously. It's a people carrier, not a Ferrari. And it controls its body roll exceptionally well for a car of this size with such a high centre of gravity. So box ticked there is real enjoyment on some twisty roads, which it's a 7-seat people carrier. Okay, you're not going to be grinning like it's a Lotus Elise, but certainly in this segment, no car of this size handles as well as what this new Ford Galaxy does. And that was very much the case of the previous car as well. For 2015, we have the new Ford family face with that chrome grille on this specific Titanium X model, the power bulge on the bonnet, and I have to say, for something that is arguably one of the least desirable types of car on the road, the Galaxy actually acquits itself really well in terms of visuals. It's not a bad looking car at all, and particularly in this top specification model, it looks the part as well. It looks quite executive with its 19-inch alloy wheels, and you know, if we move into the interior, there's this beautiful high quality of leather, perforated seats, you know, infinitely adjustable front seats here, and all the gubbins that you get with a top spec car. This vast interior also gets Ford's Sync 2 touchscreen infotainment system, which is very good, and also includes stuff like voice commands, which are very intuitive, a bit more like Siri, I suppose. It's less pre-programmed things that you have to say. It will understand, for example, I'm hungry. It'll understand that you're looking for food and bring up a list of various restaurants. That system works very well. Also, sticking with the technology in the car, of which this model is actually loaded with, we have a nice sort of half analog, half digital display down here, which can give me all sorts of information, as well as little heads up notes on what's coming up on the satellite navigation next, so I don't have to keep glancing over to the center console. The interior feels very roomy. There's lots of glass, really good visibility all the way around. This full-length glass panoramic roof just floods the cabin with light, and it makes a big space feel even bigger. Like I said, it seats 7, so whilst it's very roomy up here, the middle row is also treated to 3 individual seats that can recline, slide back and forwards. They're also coated in this very nice leather. But in the back, unlike a lot of 7-seat people carriers, you can actually house 2 full-grown adults with good levels of headroom and actually perfectly adequate levels of legroom. Nice wide opening doors enables good ingress and egress for those pesky children, and a good mechanism for the centre seats that tilts up and slides forward means that even entry into the very back seats is a cinch and shouldn't result in very much scuffed leather or interior from toddlers trying to clamber into the back. But something that is a really nice touch in this car, the scenario where you've been to the tip or something and all the seats are folded flat, you've been using it as a van, because there is a vast amount of space in here. You've been using it as a van, you've been getting rid of, I don't know, fridge freezers, something like that. And you forgot to put the seats back up and all the kids are screaming, you've got to get them somewhere, maybe to school. With the push of a button, this car actually has the ability to raise and lower its seats electrically, even in the middle row, which is so handy whenever, like I say, the kids are in a bit of, you know, a complete gaggle of children outside the car waiting to get to school. It just alleviates a little bit of that stress. further technological advancements in this car, you'll find cameras on the front which increase your peripheral vision at junctions, and also Ford's intelligent speed limiting system. Now, this was introduced on the S-Max. If you haven't seen that review, please check that out. There'll be a link around here somewhere. And that car basically introduced a system where whatever model it is, it's going to be rolled out across the range. So in this example, Galaxy will read the speed signs. They'll come up, that's nothing new, that comes up on the dashboard. But with the intelligent speed limiter active, it will actually keep the car at that speed limit and not allow it to exceed it, theoretically bringing an end to accidentally breaking the speed limit and getting caught by a camera or something like that. So again, it's another peace of mind piece of technology. This car is equipped with the 2-litre 180 PS TDCI diesel engine. This is the most popular car in the range, and it is also in tandem with Ford Powershift automatic gearbox, which is actually rather good at just trundling along by itself, selecting an appropriate gear, but also whenever you put it into manual, it doesn't seem to get caught out when you change with the paddle shifters. Shifts are nice and responsive. Overall, the Ford Galaxy is a beautifully tranquil place, especially in this Titanium X model. And it's even more versatile with the technology on board, and also the option of all-wheel drive is now coming to Europe, which is really handy if you live somewhere where perhaps the winters get quite bad. This new 2015 Ford Galaxy is an incredibly relaxing car to drive, something that could absolutely chomp the miles on the motorway if required for those long-haul family road trips. The ride is quite cosseting. It strikes a very good balance between not being too hard, not being too soft, and also not being very sloppy in the corners either. Like I say, it holds itself very, very well. Now, there is a little bit of road noise that comes into what is on the whole a rather well insulated cabin. I think that's more to do with the large 19-inch alloy wheels on this car. Smaller alloy wheels are available and would probably reduce the road noise. Costing from just under £26,500 and capable of 61.4 mpg in its most frugal guise, the 2015 Ford Galaxy retains its place at the top spot.